Good morning, sunshines. The last 48 hours has been very rough. Very rough. To quickly update you on my Aunt Carol's situation, um, it is confirmed that she has coronavirus, COVID-19. Um, she is on a ventilator at oxygen level of 100, basically meaning that the ventilator is providing 100% of her oxygen. And the doctor explained to me that normal air that we breathe is about 21%, just to understand the severity in which she's in. But she is severe, is what they said, and fluctuating, because throughout the day yesterday she was good. We got a call at around 8 o'clock last night to say that she is stable and she's well. And then 45 minutes later, the nurse called and said that her condition took a little bit of a turn, and they had to up her meds. But I called this morning, and her situation hasn't changed, and she's in the ICU unit. And I have to call back at 2 o'clock. Also, when dealing with that yesterday, I got a very sad notice about my sister-in-law's, my sister, mom, who passed away due to a heart attack. That was hard. I can't imagine what they're going through right now. Instinctively, my reaction was to get up and go to the hospital. And I was contemplating that. I have Sadari here. My daughter's 17, so I'm not worried about leaving her home, but it's like, okay, I got Carol in the hospital. I was like, I gotta go be there for my sis. And then my ex-wife calls and tells me that she needs to drop off my son, my little son, because she has to take my older son to urgent care. So he goes, she drops him off, she drops my little one off. And then, so she has my big one, and they go to the urgent care, because he's had a fever, and he's had stomach issues, which in hindsight is exactly what Carol had starting from last Sunday. Stomach issues. So he also got tested, and we're waiting for the results on that. I gotta thank Nicole, my cousin, Rob, Gio, Sunil, all for giving me a shout out, give me a mental health check to see how I'm doing, and I greatly appreciate that. It is not needed. Don't start calling or texting me. I'm very good. I'm very, very good, mentally sound. I'm okay. It's a lot to process, you know. When you tell people you have it, well, I don't have it confirmed, but let's just assume I got it. But it's in my household. Let's just assume I have it. Um, but everybody wants to start giving you the advice of clean and sterilize the whole house, and vitamin C and zinc and every other thing that they hear on the news. Um, thank you. Thank you. That's the best that I can say. Um, Everyone will have to deal with it in the manner in which they deal with it. I am not sure what's the next step. So I have myself, my daughter, and my youngest son with me, and we're going to stay in place in quarantine for the next 14 days. And my older son will be with his mother as he appears to have symptoms. So if there's any urgency, she could just take him and not have to worry about my little one. Now it's just a waiting game. I will say this, though, there is some credence to the whole toilet paper run. It affects everybody differently, and I guess that's what happened. Maybe people heard that there are issues with the digestion. Carol has bruised kidney or injured kidney, which they're believing to be associated with COVID-19, and is also the concern that we have for my son, who has not been eating well, has not wanted to hydrate, and has been using the restroom profusely. And he's also had mild fever, not a high fever, mild fever. So we're watching him, but no respiratory issues with him at this present time. I would say on the scale of days, he is about a day behind Carol's symptoms in relations. And again, not to assume that they will both go down the same path, but this happened rapidly. So we'll say Sunday is when I first noticed anything wrong with Carol. In retrospect, as now you can add up the things that led us up to here. For her, it started with food. A friend of hers had baked food, and then the following day she complained, that that the food didn't sit well, and that her stomach was bothering her, and she went and she had to throw up, and she had diarrhea the following day, and then she kind of stayed with that. Again, to very high spirit, talkative and everything else. And then I would say Thursday, I really took concern because she said she had to use her asthma pump for the first time in, I don't know how long, a year, a month, I don't know. But even she couldn't remember the last time because I asked these questions. Again, just checking up on her. And then it went from me like, okay, maybe she's got a stomach bug, because the reports of stomach and intestinal issues or kidney issues has not been highly profiled. So I took it, and we took it as, okay, you might have a stomach bug. It just kind of unfortunately coincided with she had gotten food from a friend, and then the next day she just wasn't feeling well. No fever. I checked her every day for a fever. No fever. no respiratory issues until the last 2 days when I started noticing that she had some labor in her breathing. And then on, the day that she went to the hospital, yeah. Yeah. So that's where I am. It's been a rough 48 hours mentally. I had to had the conversations with my kids that are here. That Carol's in a tough spot, and there is a chance that she might not make it. With my littlest one, I had to talk to him about responsibility and that we have to be responsible for each other. We have to watch each other. And if we look like that we're not feeling well, to be sure to let one of the other know. If we notice that we're either coughing too much, or we don't look well, our color is not the same, or we don't sound right, to be sure to let the other one know. I put the address on the refrigerator next to the phone. And I said, Papi, if me or Sadari can't get to the phone, I need you to be responsible and call 911. And this is the address. And I said I would do the same for you. That was a tough conversation to have with a straight face. Am I concerned about our health? No. I think my kids and myself, we're in a very good position health-wise. None of us have major underlying conditions. I mean, my condition when I look at it is that I did have hypertension, uncontrolled hypertension, or maybe about in December, as some of you guys know. And I used to have asthma when I was a kid. I haven't had it in years. My daughter does have asthma, but she's also very athletic, and the asthma is more of a seasonal thing. And my other two boys, no, they didn't, but it's affecting Hunter as of right now. There's no cause for alarm, but it is cause to have precautions for Hunter, and we're doing that. And thankfully, we have medical people in the family at the drop of a dime to call and to assist and to recommend what's needed. So that's where I'm at. We'll see what happens in the next 24 hours. I don't believe in God, but Carol's a regular church-going lady. So I called the church, or at least I called some of her friends in the church, and I let them know. And I asked on behalf of her to get the prayer warriors up because I know that's what she would do for others, and I've seen her do it for others to get her friends together and in prayer. Because I know some people need that, and that's okay. Do what you need to do to find comfort, to find calm, because this is no time to panic. Even with this in my household, there's no time to panic. Although my daughter, I love her. My daughter looks at me with a straight face after, her mother and I agree that she needs to be quarantined with me for the next 14 days. She goes, but hold up. Fine. I'm okay being quarantined. Okay, I like this brother better than the other one anyway, so this works. But are we required to be a part of your daily videos? Cause that might be a problem. That might be the quarantine pause. I am very blessed to have them as my kids. And I take full responsibility on having to be in control and continuing to be the strength for them and for anybody else who needs it. So, despite what I'm going through, I'm happy to talk to anybody who is unsure, uncertain, scared, nervous, or just need somebody who else is going through it. I'm very easy to reach. Just call, FaceTime, Insta video. We will get through it. So I'll leave it with that. Stay safe. Wash your hands. Try to stay away from old people. And I love you. That's my heart beating for you. Good day, sunshines.